Taylor James is a creative production studio. We produce content for print, interactive and broadcast. I'm excited by what's happening at Taylor James. We're working on such a diverse range of projects for agencies all over the world, and we're integrating and innovating and using different technologies in all of those. Creativity is at the heart of everything we do. It's kind of the most important part of the production process. Everything's anchored around that creative idea, and we're only ever using technology to support that creative idea. Things started taking off for us probably about 5-6 years ago when we started getting into CGI. A big part of that boost in what the company was doing was our relationship with V-Ray and the pipelines that we set up for CGI. As soon as we started working with the realism of V-Ray, that was when we kind of knew that we had something that was really important to our business and really important to ultimately our customers. And essentially, I think what we found in V-Ray was that it was a tool that we could use to really help achieve photographic realism. I think I'm most happiest when I am being challenged, and Bermuda definitely was a challenge for us. We'd never directed anything like that before, and we had to take a camera on a journey across the island, balance the beauty of the island, but then at the same time drawing on these intimate moments that people were sharing when they go on holiday. We wanted to create one complete camera path that ran through the whole 60-second narrative. I think we created quite a few headaches for the studio. They had to seamlessly transition from live action into CG worlds. From my perspective, the most important part was having that pre-visualization of that complete journey. So it was fine to have the creative idea, but working with the team to get that vision down into previs was really important so that I could then communicate with the clients, with the agency, and also with the actors and all the crew on what was happening. Using pre-visualization and then showing render slides of what the clients are going to get, what their vegetation is going to look like, what their beaches, what their rock formations, how their island's actually going to be represented before we get anywhere near the deadline was really important. So there were lots of things that we were using within V-Ray that helped us to achieve that and kind of win client confidence. When we originally started out building the CGI pipeline, we obviously looked at lots of different solutions, and in Chaos Group and with V-Ray, we really did test it to its maximum at the start to see how we could hit the photographic realism. At Taylor James, we're continually investing in CG. It's the driving force of the business, and as these new technologies come out, it's very important that we stay at the forefront and keep innovating in those areas. 3D stereoscopic has been a really important thing for us, and the capabilities of V-Ray to interact with that has been paramount to what we've been doing. The latest features of V-Ray allow us to render in 3D stereoscopic, which really opens up the pipeline when we go to composite for 3D. And I think the beauty with V-Ray is that it's also continually being developed and supported. In the relationship we have with Chaos Group, our R&D department can really get into requests to try and push the software forward and get more from it in future issues, and they've been really supportive, and that's been really important for us, and that's why we've trusted it for so long.
I have been quite impressed with V-Ray, the speed of the rendering, flexibility, how you can control your rendering, and also how robust the render engine is. We've got V-Ray a lot more integrated in our pipeline. It's very useful for product rendering, pack shots. If you have to move a light, you see it instantly. If you change a shader, you see it instantly. You've got real-time feedback. A big tool in V-Ray for us is the render elements. It gives you all the render elements for free. This gives the compositors a lot more flexibility to improve the image. How we use V-Ray depends on the project. If you've got a print project, if you have to use GI solutions, then we use Brute Force Ingredients Map because it enables us to render GI on really high resolution images like 10K by 10K, for example. With Motorola, there was one camera move and a huge amount of polygons with vegetation, with lots of cars, with lots of people. With V-Ray, especially the V-Ray proxy system, it's a great system where you can render a huge amount of polygons. We can put a lot more into the scene and get the same render time. We have been able to render the whole scene on one workstation it saves time and costs for the clients.
We use V-Ray because it's fast and it's very easy to get people to learn it and to understand how the shaders work, which is really important, that people can look at a real object and look at the physical properties of this, and you can adjust the reflectivity and it makes sense. It does what you expect it to, which is a really important aspect with any shade development. One of the biggest changes we made to our pipeline when we were using V-Ray is to go into a linear workflow and really control gamma correctly. And V-Ray has options built in which really help just automate that if you want to keep it simple. And also the support level that V-Ray has for its forums on Chaos Group. The education is there to help people understand why it's so important. And now it's become integral to making sure that our compositing jobs run really smoothly. We've been really using V-Ray RT a lot more in our production here. We're using it as it's a very powerful previs tool for us to quickly set up, getting cameras in the right position and getting lights, reflections just where we want to put them. It's really fantastic when we get clients in, they can sit down, they can look at it, they can see everything in real time. We always strive to get the best possible look, and if that means we've got to render out 50 different passes with different render elements and different masks, then that's what we do to make sure we hit that level. It comes back to V-Ray's speed. It's very important that it's a quick render so that we can do multiple passes. We can do different variations of lighting, different variations of HDR, break down the image, rebuild it, and have absolute control over all the elements individually. So we have a fantastic relationship with Chaos Group. We've been working really closely with the development of V-Ray, and this has allowed us to suggest improvements, suggest new features. Really exciting for us to be able to have that influence on something which is so pivotal for us to be able to do our work and get that level of realism that we need.
I think even in the last 5-6 years, CGI has evolved so much that you don't even recognise it. The future is strong for CG because it's the main driver of creating those immersive experiences.
Since we integrated V-Ray in our production pipeline, it never let us down.
It's been the continual updates and it's the support that we've been getting in the technology that's really been pushing it forward. And that's why we rely on it for so many years, and that's why we've continued to invest in it going forward. I think it gives our business an edge.